There are a few different things. I went from selling to serving and just showing up in my community and saying, what do the people need? What are they looking for? And how can I show up here and support them? And that made a big difference. I also decided that the universe was the one that pays me. People don't pay me, and so money gets to show up through the right people because I'm in the right places, not because I say the right thing, not because I do the right thing. Like, you can't say the right thing or do the right thing. You'll never say the wrong thing to the right person.
Welcome, Badass Manifestor. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the quantum coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. Welcome back, Badass Manifestors. I am super excited for today's episode because I have a special guest. Yes, I promise the Q&A episode is coming. This past week, I've been on vacation. I've been checked out of work. I've been with my family, with my mom, who I haven't seen in like 5 months since, COVID. I haven't seen her since, I think, September-ish. And I am just so grateful to be with the ones that I love this past week and a half. It's been incredible. And now I'm going into a week-long girls trip with some of my soul sisters. So I'm just like really enjoying the moment as much as I possibly can. So I promise you that solo Q&A is coming at you. But this week is a very special episode. I am interviewing a past graduate from the Quantum Coaching Academy. Her name is Courtney Badger, and she has created quite the coaching business for herself. What she does is she supports women to get to know themselves on a soul level so that they can make the most empowered decisions in their life. She uses human design and intuition coaching, and she is called the Wandering Manifestor on Instagram. And she really talks about mastering her craft and what it takes to create a business from the ground up and what it took for her to get into full alignment with her most authentic truth on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur. Her story is extremely empowering and inspiring, and I think it will really help you on your journey to just trust your journey and to really allow yourself to sink into where you are right now, because I think the only way to get to where we want to be is to really understand and accept where we are, and everything is really truly in divine timing, and Courtney is a perfect example of that. And she shares her journey of how she got her first clients and just how everything has come to fruition for her. And so I'm really excited for you to hear it. And we have a really exciting announcement. The Quantum Coaching Academy waitlist is open. We have a special waitlist page, and we will be opening enrollment to the waitlist early for the next round. And anyone that is on the waitlist will be able to save $1,000 on their tuition to QCA. So listen for the end of the episode, and we will tell you how to get on the waitlist. And here's Courtney. Courtney, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yes, so good. So obviously in the intro, everyone knows that you are a QCA graduate and that you have launched your business and that you have seen some pretty amazing success. Kind of, I wouldn't say like an overnight success, right? Because no one is. Like, let's just debunk that myth. But will you share a little bit about your journey to becoming a coach, launching your business, and having your first big month in your business?
I feel like it really all started. I want to say my journey started when I started in network marketing, but I feel like the decision really started when I decided to quit my job and sell everything I own and move to New Zealand and go traveling for 2 years. And I feel like that was my like first big thing that I ever did that went against the grain of like what I was supposed to do. And also seeing that I could do something different and have an amazing experience. And like that really was like the catapult into like kind of changing and living differently for me.
Yes.
Then I got home from traveling, and when you get home from traveling for a really long period of time, are like you feel very black sheep. It's called reverse culture shock. And it was really hard to go through. It was a very depressing time. I had a hard time making friends. I couldn't find a job. And I got into network marketing, and I saw some really fast, quick success in network marketing, and then got bored with it really quickly. But felt like committed to the life that I saw that it could create for me. And I didn't know how else to create it. And so I was in network marketing for about 5 years. And I was successful in it. I did well. I moved up in ranks. I was making decent money, but it just didn't fill me with passion. It didn't make me joyful. I wasn't excited to talk about weight loss products every day. Like I've struggled with my body my whole life, and I didn't want to always have to put my body on display. And that's all I was allowed to talk about. And so I decided to make the journey to leave network marketing, which is really scary. Like you feel insulated in this bubble in network marketing. But I will say, I feel like it's the halfway house to entrepreneurship. Just like I felt like living in the dorms was the halfway house to reality. Like it's just like this
I
teaching.
love that. That's so good.
Like it just is, it teaches you that you can live differently, take the steps. It teaches you how to build your social media. Like I just learned so much in network marketing, and I am so thankful that I failed because it just wasn't what I was meant to do, and I wouldn't have seen the life. And I'm glad I didn't get stuck there because it wasn't what filled me with passion, and I didn't get golden handcuffs from being there. Because if you're a 6-figure earner, it can be scary to step out on your own. And so then I decided to step out into the coaching world, but I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how to coach. I work in HR, so I have a really strong background in supporting people, and it just is my natural skill set. But being a coach, it's not something you just know how to do. And I think that we think we do. So
Yes.
that's kind of my journey to my business.
You're preaching to my choir, which, like, let's have everyone, if you're going to be a coach, be a really good coach, please. Wow. I love everything you said. And I love how it's just, when you can look back on it, you're like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like God put me exactly in network marketing so I could get that experience, so I could really know, how to connect with people online and how to show up online and like how to build a business in general. Right. And it took you right into your purpose, which is clearly coaching. I know firsthand that Coach Courtney's an amazing coach because I was lucky enough to be her mentor in our program. And so she's coached me through some really tough times. And so let's just kind of like go back. So when you were like, okay, I don't know how to coach, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, tell me a little bit about what came next for someone. Cause I think a lot of people listening are on that, they're in that place, right? And they're like, I think that this is my passion. I think that this is my purpose, but like, what do you do first? What's the first thing that you do?
So the first thing I did, don't do it. I just joined a bunch of business courses to try to figure out how to build my business, and spent time doing that, but wasn't connected to know how to be a coach. And so it was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to build this business, but I'm afraid to take a client because I don't know how to support them. And so it was like wanting this thing, but also fearing having the thing you want because you didn't know how to create a transformation. So I would say what I did was not wasted money, but just took courses I wasn't ready for. Because of course you want to learn how to build your business and know how to build your business, but you need to be ready for your business. And I wasn't ready for business because I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah, I think that's really key. And I think it's one of those things like what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Like people are like, well, what do I do? I always say like, learn how to be a coach first if that's what you want to do, because you're going to learn how to build your business. Like that's going to happen. It's going to develop. But I'm a little biased to it. So it's nice to hear from your perspective.
I would say if you're trying to figure it out, you're saying, okay, what do I want to do? First thing, create a community. Like create a
Yes.
community of people, a Facebook group. I think a Facebook group is really magical. It's a place where people, like-minded people, can connect and just start talking to them. Start sharing your heart. Don't expect anything. Give value. And then, yeah, learn to be a coach if you want to be a coach, if that's what you're meant to do. But start by having a Facebook group and start talking to people, because once you build those connections and then you're in a coaching program, you're like, oh, now there's people ready who are positioned to buy from me.
Okay, let's definitely talk about that too, because like that is so key. And I remember when I started my business, like I didn't have expectation. I didn't come into the bit coaching industry and be like, I need to make money and I need to make it now. I was just all about like, I wanted to give, show up, built a Facebook group by accident, really. Like I gave a talk at my yoga studio and then people were talking in the event on Facebook. And I was like, let's bring this conversation over to a group. That's kind of how it happened.
Oh, wow.
Right. And then didn't touch the group for like a year after that. And then I was like, oh, I have these people here that actually want to talk about manifestation. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Whatever you're passionate about, just start talking about it. And you'll find people that are passionate about the same thing. Also, make your group name something searchable that makes sense to people. Like, don't create it as your brand name, because people aren't looking for your brand. They're looking for manifestation. They're looking for human design. They're looking for yoga moms, like whatever is searchable on Facebook. That's what you want to call it, because you want to attract those people who are searching for you. Let them find you.
Let them find you. And I think some people have like brand names that have keywords in them. Like we both have Manifestor in our, brand name. So I think people search that and that's how they find the groups. But yeah, that's such good advice too. Like just be searchable. What is your ideal client typing into Google, or what's the topic that people are typing into Facebook to search? Yeah. So true. So true. So since you have built such an engaged community, what took you from like wannabe coaching to fully stepping into it? Like, how did you make that move for yourself?
There are a few different things. I went from selling to serving and just showing up in my community and saying, what do the people need? What are they looking for? And how can I show up here and support them? And that made a big difference. Like I also decided that the universe was the one that pays me. People don't pay me. And so money gets to show up through the right people because I'm in the right places, not because I say the right thing, not because I do the right thing. Like you can't say the right thing or do the right thing. You'll never say the wrong thing to the right person. And so I would go over in my head, well, maybe I should have done this differently or said this differently. No, like you said it perfectly, even if nobody bought, and you just figured out what you needed to do. And so deciding that people didn't pay me, deciding to serve, not sell, and deciding that I'm a coach. That was one of the biggest things. I had this fear that I need to lose weight to be a coach. I need to make more money to be a coach. I need to prove people I'm smart enough to be a coach. I need to do this or this to be a coach. No, I just needed to decide I'm a coach. I'm an intelligent person. I help people. Like these are my strengths and this is how I can support people. And that's where people need support, is in my strengths.
Okay. I want to kind of dive into that deeper because I think that that's such a challenging thing for others because there's a lot around that. There's a lot of belief systems that block people from that. And I love that you said like you switched from selling to serving. Yes. And what was the second one you said? What was that one? I can't remember.
Oh, I decided that the universe
pays you.
Yeah.
Yes. So good. So when someone's entering the coaching industry and they're like, I think I want to be a coach. And let's just say that I'm sure like getting certified and being in that energy of like, I know how to coach helps with that decision-making process. So let's just say someone's certified, but they're still having trouble stepping into that identity. Like what was your process? Like if you could break it down of like how you actually stepped into that.
I asked myself why I wanted it. Like what was the reason I wanted to be a coach and felt called to be a coach, and realized there was nothing bad about wanting it. Like, I feel like we are taught that our desires, there's something wrong with them. We can't have them. Life can't be that good. Life can't be that easy. And so I broke down, like, why do I want to be a coach? Well, I love to help women. Where have I helped women in my life? How am I already doing this? How am I already a coach, but not being paid for it? What do people come to me for? What do they ask me for? What's my superpower? My superpower is asking questions. I know how to ask a lot of questions. I can ask powerful questions. I decide, why do you want to be a coach? Like, why do you desire it deep down? If your reason to be a coach is to make money, you can't be successful, because that's not the reason to show up for your purpose and your passion. If your reason, your purpose, and your passion is to help other women, or whoever your ideal client is, to have this transformation that you want to create for them, and there's no negative or malice intent, then why don't you deserve to step into your power? We need more people that are willing to step into their power to make the world a better, more beautiful place. And so when you realize the reasoning for what you're doing and what's behind it, and it's not from an ego place, then it just became easier to say, okay, this is what I'm meant to do because my soul desires it. God created me this way, and he wouldn't have created this desire in me if I wasn't meant to have it.
That's beautiful. So true. And so that really hits home. Whew, yeah. And I love that you said, like, checking in with, okay, if there's actually nothing bad around this, why the F don't we?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we deserve to have this path, this career, this purpose?
And why not try? Like, would you rather worry your whole life or wonder, was I meant to be a coach? Should I have tried? Even if you fail and it doesn't work out, did you try? Did you put all your effort in and believe in yourself when you tried? Not half try. Because I used to be a half trier all the time. I would say, okay, well, I'm going to sort of try. And if it doesn't work out, I can blame it on the fact that I didn't go all in. When I just decided, no, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to try. And if I fail, I'm going to have the most fun failing that I ever had.
I think it really gamifies it. You know, it's like a game. It's like, let's have fun with it. Let's make this a game, no matter what happens. If I fail, it's a game, right? If I win, it's a game. Like, yeah. So what was that moment for you? Because I think I could totally relate to that moment of being like, I'm going all in. And that was when I charged $12,000 on a credit card to, like, go to coaching school. I was like, I'm good at this. I'm doing this. I'm investing in myself. And I know that if I spend this much money, I know that I'm going to do whatever the fuck it takes. Like, what did you have that moment of, like, I'm doing this and I'm going to do whatever the fuck it takes?
Yes, it was a moment at work when I like work on cases at work, and I had this moment where I saw where what I did didn't align with the human I want to be. And so I feel like my purpose is helping people see themselves on a soul level. And I realized at work, I don't do that at all. And there was this moment of, if you are meant to help people see them as people, and you're in a career that's supposed to do that, but doesn't do it, like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? And you are too expensive to let someone buy your morals and values.
Whoa. Mic drop.
Yeah.
You are too expensive to let someone buy your morals and values in your work environment.
Yeah. And I'm selling them for a price. And it's a good price. I mean, I make over 6 figures at work. So walking away from 6 figures is not like a super easy thing. So if you are someone who makes over 6 figures, you feel like you have more to lose going into coaching or your own business. It feels scarier.
Yeah. And just a side note, if you are wondering how you can manage your 9-to-5 job and also start a coaching business, Courtney is that example, right? Like, she is doing both, and she's seeing a lot of success in her coaching business, and she's very successful at her corporate job.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You just have to decide which one's temporary. And I decided my 9-to-5 got to be temporary.
Wow. Such a good point. Okay.
So if you're only half in your business, you're telling God and the universe, my business is the temporary thing in my life right now. So like going all in is showing this isn't temporary. This is what I'm doing.
Yes. This is my future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how do you think okay, so you've stepped into this identity of like, you made a decision that you are valuable, that you can change lives, that you do change lives. And as you've stepped into that, I kind of want to just display a little bit about your journey, because I know that like there's no such thing as overnight success, right? Generally speaking. So what has that been like for you? Because just to kind of circle back to like the whole Facebook group thing, I love that you brought that up, because I think so many people step into the industry and they're like, I'm going to be a coach. Okay, I launched a program. Okay, crickets. Oh, I suck at this. I'm never doing this again. It happens to all of us.
Oh yeah. I've had launches where I've made $0. So it happens to everyone. And I'm
Yeah.
actually relaunching a course now where I made $0 and it feels so much more aligned. So just because you launch something and it fails doesn't mean you can never make money from it either.
Absolutely. Because I mean, but and also it's like you've cultivated your community so much since that point. Like it's a different energy. It's a different ballgame.
Yeah. And it's
You're
knowing,
launching to if you don't have a community.
yeah. And I did that in the beginning. Even coming from network marketing, I thought, oh, well, I could just show up and launch something. And people are like, okay, well, when you switch industries, people expect to hear one thing from you and you start talking about something else and they're not ready for it. So a lot of it was taking time to cultivate my community, build relationships, and show up in a new way and talk about new things.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it has been finding out what they want, asking them, just ask them. I ask questions in my Facebook group all the time. I started and I have been figuring out how to do things my own way instead of like, I know in a lot of Facebook groups they have theme days. Well, those didn't resonate with me. So I don't have theme days anymore. The only theme day I have is promote yourself. I'm just asking them questions all the time to get to know them better so I can create content that they need in their words and share that with them. Because when you use their words back to them, they're like, she's in my head. How
Yeah.
did she know I felt that way? Well, you told me.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's magnetic marketing right there. So I know I was there when you got your first client, because I got the message and you were like, oh my God, I'm signing my first client. Ah! I know so many people want that feeling. What has that journey been like for you of manifesting clients?
Especially in the beginning, it felt really scary. I didn't feel so. I first actually, before I got certified, started offering coaching at $99 for 6 weeks. And
Well,
whole big
I
fat
didn't know
zero,
that.
yeah, a whole big fat zero people bought it from me. I even offered to do a free group coaching program. A whole zero people enrolled. So it was like, there was some questioning, like people don't even want to join me for free. How on earth are they going to pay me? And I finally decided, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like people are going to pay me. I just need to find the right people. And if they don't want something for free from me, they are the ones missing out. And so just cultivating knowing that because someone says no, that has no indication or reflection on you. It just wasn't the right time for them. It wasn't the right offer. There's so many factors that can go into no. And then I raised my prices and someone said yes. And it wasn't even because I posted and people all of a sudden, I just learned to listen to my intuition, which was something that was really hard for me because I was taught to not listen to it and taught to not trust myself, which I think most women are taught not to trust yourself. And I just got really quiet and saw the people that were engaging in my Facebook group. And I sent messages to people that said, hey, I don't know if this is for you, but I intuitively felt like I should reach out to you and make this offer to you. I have some one on one coaching spots. Are you interested in one of them? And people started saying yes. And I was like, what's going on? People are saying yes. And it didn't feel like the icky cold messaging and network marketing. It was a message with a purpose with someone I already had a relationship with that had been engaging in my community.
I think that's such an important part of it too, is realizing that it wasn't a hey girl message. It was a genuine intuitive nudge.
Yeah.
And the energy that brings is completely different than a cold message.
And I
And
will
I
say
love it.
too, my first coaching session, I was like, oh my gosh, am I the worst coach ever? Like, you're gonna mess up. It won't be perfect. But now I'm like, holy crap, I'm a really good fucking coach.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you are. I know you are. Makes me so excited and so happy to hear. And having that confidence though, like knowing that you're really good at what you do, I don't know, that's that big coach energy that we talk about, right? That's that feeling of just like, I know that I can help you have a transformation, like without a doubt.
But it just takes practice. Like the first time, I didn't feel like I knew how to have a transformation with people.
Right.
You just practice. I mean, it helped in QCA having our peer clients because I saw, oh my gosh, I was able to create transformation without the pressure of payment. So they weren't paying me, so it didn't create, I could mess up. And that felt better because the second someone starts paying you, you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to get it perfect. And so it did help to have a coaching client and start to see transformation. I think I had a coaching client with QCA for about 6 weeks before I got my first client. And I will say that helped me to boost my confidence to say, okay, I can actually help someone because I'm doing it right now.
So awesome. It's so, so true. And like looking at, so we have like all of our new students right now for QCA, and I feel that energy of like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like all the doubt, all the fear, all the scared to be messy comes up. I'm like, I should bring Courtney in to talk to them and just like just tell them I'm on the other side. You're gonna be okay. Like you're gonna feel confident after. But I do feel like that energy of confidence magnetizes clients to you, and like you can help them if they're your soulmate client, of course.
Yes.
So once you got your first client, and I love that example that you shared because it's like unconventional to like, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, how did it start to unfold from there?
I launched a program and it failed. And so at that point, I literally I went into a depression for a couple weeks actually, like questioning, am I meant to be a coach? Oh my gosh, nobody bought from me. This is clear. I made a mistake. Like, what am I doing? And then I would get on my calls with my one-on-one clients and I was like, no, this is what I meant to do. I didn't make a mistake. And just deciding, why am I making this one launch like decide my self-worth? Because I did. I let it determine everything about my coaching abilities because nobody bought. And it was like, no, I just didn't market it right. And I hadn't cultivated enough of a relationship with my audience for them to be ready for it. And it didn't have to mean anything. And then the idea actually didn't come from me. Like another person said, I think you should launch this program. And I didn't know what to launch and was like, okay, I guess I'll launch it. And it just didn't go well. And that's okay because I learned no, unless you are like 100% bought into what you're launching, and feel you're worthy of talking about that topic. It wasn't even I was against talking about it. It was I felt like I had my own shadows around it still. And so I couldn't fully help women, which isn't true. You can help things with things you have your own shadows around, but it was my own mind drama and my own story that created my results.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting how once you untie that hook of like, just the meaning that you were giving it, like once you were like, oh, this actually has nothing to do with my coaching and everything to do with just like people, like you were like, people aren't ready for it. The messaging wasn't there. It wasn't a fully aligned offer.
Yeah.
Next, please.
And so then my next launch, I had 7 women sign up.
Wow.
So you just have to figure out what's the right offer for you and be okay with failing, just failing forward because you learn something in every single launch that you do.
Totally. I don't even look at it as failing because I feel like it's just trial and error. Like it's just like think of it as an experiment when you're starting your business. Like you don't know what's going to work. And I always say this and I'm always going to say it. It's like the Avicii song, feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I don't know where this journey will end, but I know where it starts. It starts right here in your heart. Like just move forward in the dark, even if you don't know what it's going to be, even if it doesn't work out, like just keep going.
And ask yourself, when in the past have I not known what the result was going to be and made it through something that was hard? And
Yeah.
I've been through a lot of hard things and figured it out. And I'm incredibly resourceful. And I've always figured it out. I've never not figured it out. If you're still alive and standing, you also have never not figured it out.
True that.
So, I mean, and ask yourself, is this what I'm thinking right now? Is this reality or is this my mind drama? And like, stop believing every thought you think. Every thought you think is not true. And it does not determine, it will determine your reality if you attach meaning to it. But
Yeah.
just because I think something doesn't make it true.
Whoa. Yes. That's such a good reminder. Such a good reminder. Don't believe everything that you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I thought it. I thought that I am stupid today. Oh, you're right. I'm stupid. No.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you did something stupid. Maybe but like, why do we attach meaning to everything that we think? And it's also charged meaning. Like, I've never grown up and being told that I was stupid. So even if I think the thought, oh, I'm stupid today, like, I don't attach meaning to it. But I've grown up been being told, you are going to struggle with your weight, and until you fix your weight, you can't be successful. So if I think today, oh my gosh, I'm fat, I like that becomes my identity to my core. And so think about too, like, thoughts that you think that you don't attach meaning to them, and then the thoughts that you do, like, why? Where is that coming from?
That's such a good tip. Such a good tip for anyone and for brand new coaches that want to step out and do this, because it's an inner game. It's a big inner game, and Courtney has mastered it because now she's, crushing it. Like you are.
Something I actually just got this tip the other day, and I feel like it was one of the most helpful things is we believe that everything in life has to be really hard. Like, we believe we have to work really hard for it. And so unless we're working really hard, we don't believe that we get what we want. And so someone gave me this mind hack, and I feel like it was so helpful. Well, decide the hard work is changing your limiting beliefs, and look, you just worked hard to get what you wanted.
Wait, say that again.
So, like, we have this belief in America, to have what you want, you need to work really hard. And changing the thought to everything gets to be really easy, that can be kind of a hard thought to change. And so if you say
that, we make that hard too.
Yeah. But if you can say the hard work is changing my limiting beliefs instead of I have to physically work hard, well, look, you just did the hard work. So now you get what you want.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, my brain can really get on board with that quicker.
Yes. That's like really soaking in. Wow. That's really cool. Get that, everyone. Like, go back if you need to. Listen to it a couple times. It's one of those like mind things. That's so awesome. Wow.
Yeah, it's like a little esoteric, but it's like, oh, okay, yeah, my brain can get on board with this beat. Okay, that's the hard work. Well, I'm doing the hard work already then.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
So good. So good. So what would you say is your biggest advice, tip, learning for, I mean, you've dropped so many good things, like for people that maybe they want to be a coach, maybe they want to break away from their 9-to-5, whatever they want to do, that is like feeling really, really hard to them or really, really scary to them. How can they just tap into that next level for themselves?
I mean, one thing you can do is ask yourself what scary things you've already done in your life and see that you made it to the other side, because you're giving your brain proof that you can do hard and scary things. Yeah. And stepping away from your 9-to-5 can be really scary, no matter how much money you make. Being an entrepreneur is not safe. Asking yourself what you value, and if your 9-to-5 lines up with your values. If it doesn't line up with your values, ask yourself, is this what I want to keep doing for the rest of my life? Is this filling me with joy? Ask yourself, what are your limiting beliefs around joy? Because how many of us have heard adulting has to be hard? I'm not allowed to have everything I want. Things can't be that fun. Life can't be that easy. Money doesn't grow on trees, but it does because it's paper.
I just saw that TikTok.
I mean,
you know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen it. And then really like once you've had this conversation with yourself of, okay, my life does not line up to where I want it to be, then you say, okay, I feel like I want to be a coach. Ask yourself why. Why do you desire that? How will that fill you up? Also know that being a coach can't determine your worth. Like
Yeah.
your worth has to come from in you. And when you decide you're worthy, then you decide you got to go after your dreams.
Oh, that is everything. Everything. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Amazing. So take that with you guys, journal it out, ask yourself these hard questions, and just trust yourself. Like if your desires are there for a reason. So follow them. Like Courtney said, follow your intuition. Yeah. So good.
And decide that you're too expensive to outsource and sell your dreams. Like you are 100% worthy and you are outsourcing your dreams to another place. Like you're too expensive for that. Stop selling yourself.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. What makes you a badass manifestor, Court?
That I've learned to trust myself.
That's everything.
And that even when my intuition goes against norms, it's always right. Like we don't need to follow the societal confines of the patriarchy that have been decided for us. We get to do it different.
Yes. Take it and run with it. So awesome. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing these nuggets, for just going for it. Like I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And I appreciate you always being my biggest cheerleader and wanting me to be successful. And funny story, all of my one-on-one clients I have met through Ashley. So
that's crazy.
Ashley's just feeding me my one-on-one clients.
Abundance.
Not really.
Abundance. Yeah, it's just it's so cool. Yeah, that's so cool though. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy just to see you supporting these women, being successful, doing what you love, following your dreams. Like it's super inspiring. So yeah. Awesome. Where can everyone connect with you?
So I have a really awesome Facebook group. It's called The Aligned Life on Facebook. The link will be in the show notes to that. I also have a website called The Wandering Manifestor. And one of the biggest reasons you don't want to step into being a coach is money, which it often is. Like I have a money course coming out pretty soon and it's $197. So it's definitely something that really anyone can afford because I want this information to be accessible. And when you're ready, invest in yourself and don't fear because you're worthy of investing in yourself. And whether that's with me or another coach or in QCA or like however you do it, stop saying that you don't deserve to be invested in.
Yeah. Because you've done that. You've invested in yourself all the way and it's gotten you very far. So amazing. I agree with you 100%. Thanks, Courtney.
Yes. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
So fun. All right, everyone, tag us. Let us know your biggest takeaway from this episode. You can tag Court. Did you say your Instagram?
Oh, my Instagram is The Wandering Manifestor.
The Wandering Manifestor. And you guys know at Manifest with Ash, let us know what moved you from today's episode. And we can't wait to shout you out. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys love that episode so much. She is amazing. Make sure you go follow her. And just let us know what inspired you the most from this episode and how to get on the QCA waitlist. I know you've been waiting, and now after hearing Courtney share about it, you're ready to take the leap and you're curious and you want to learn more. So the link is in the show notes. And if you go on my website, manifestwithash.com, under Work With Me, you'll see Quantum Coaching Academy, and it will take you to the waitlist page. The thing about the waitlist page is that once you are on it, you will be notified first when applications open to the waitlist. Anyone that applies through the waitlist page and leaves a refundable deposit is eligible for the $1,000 coupon code off of your tuition. So anywho, go to the waitlist page, put your name and email in, and we will notify you for your next steps. We cannot wait. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I'll see you next week for the Q&A episode. I promise it's coming at you. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at ManifestWithAsh. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.